As you saw yesterday, that whole nonsense ended with a very poor performance by a man named Robert Mueller, an incompetent performance. But they say a lot of it started with Ukraine. Whatever you can do, it's very important that you do it if that's possible. The media, Anderson Cooper, all the rest, hey, this is a conspiracy theory. Don't bother with it. None of the Democrats on the committee have wanted to look into this. Not one of them. What is the president talking about? Why is he so focused on 2016? Stick with me. Politico, left wing, written by, among others, Kenneth Vogel, left wing so-called journalist. Ukraine efforts to sabotage Trump backfire. That's their headline. And this is from January 2017. Ukrainian government officials tried to help Hillary Clinton and undermine Trump by publicly questioning his fitness for office. They also disseminated documents implicating a top Trump aide in corruption and suggested they were investigating the matter, only to back away after the election. And they helped Clinton's allies research damaging information on Trump and his advisors, a Politico investigation found. A Ukrainian-American operative who was consulting for the DNC met with top officials in the Ukrainian embassy in Washington in an effort to expose ties between Trump, top campaign aide Paul Manafort, and Russia, according to people with direct knowledge of the situation. You had this witness, Fiona Hill, who dismissed all this. The Ukrainian efforts had an impact in the race, helping to force Manafort's resignation and advancing the narrative that Trump's campaign was deeply connected to Ukraine's foe to the east, Russia. It goes on later. Yet Politico's investigation found evidence of Ukrainian government involvement in the race that appears to strain diplomatic protocol, dictating the government's refrain from engaging in one another's elections. It goes on and on and on. And they bring up a woman who the Republicans asked to have as a witness, and Schiff said no. Alexandra Chalupa had worked in the White House Office of Public Liaison in the Clinton administration, was a consultant to the DNC. She was paid $412,000 from 2004 to 2016. A daughter of Ukrainian immigrants who maintains strong ties to Ukrainian-American diaspora and the U.S. Embassy in Ukraine. She's a lawyer by training. And it goes on and on and on. Now, why is she important? Why is she important? She should have been called as a witness to figure out exactly what her role is. There's a number of articles about this woman and what she was doing with the DNC, the Hillary Clinton campaign, the State Department, and by the way, met several times at the White House with the so-called whistleblower. What's that all about? I don't know. We're not allowed to ask about her. We're not allowed to ask about the whistleblower. We're not allowed to ask about Hunter Biden. Not allowed to ask anything. So we bring in bureaucrats who don't know a damn thing to begin with. Another, why did Trump want to know about 2016? New York Times, secret ledger in Ukraine lists cash for Donald Trump's campaign chief. Bottom line, they had what's called this black ledger, and people in the government were leaking it to news outlets in the United States for the purpose of embarrassing the president. The president eventually had to let his campaign manager go, and they were digging as much dirt as they could on Manafort and his consulting business over there and leaking it out to the New York Times, to the Associated Press, and others. For example, the New York Times piece is very long, has headlines like mysterious payments. It has offshore company. There's more and more. Oh, yes. There is a disputed investment as the Ukrainian government is trying to affect the American election. Here's a follow-up by the New York Times. Ukraine releases more details on payments for Trump aide Paul Manafort. The Ukrainian authorities, under pressure to bolster their assertion that once secret accounting documents show cash payments from a pro-Russian political party earmarked for Donald Trump's campaign manager, released line-item entries, some for millions of dollars. The Russians did interfere with our election. In fact, the Obama administration interfered with our election. The FBI, the CIA, the FISA court interfered with our election. The media interfered with our election. But so did the Ukrainian government on the side of Hillary Clinton. Here's another one. Financial Times. Ukraine's leaders campaign against pro-Putin, quote-unquote, Trump. They hated Trump. They wanted to take Trump out. Wow, here's another one. The Nation, a hard left magazine. The full scope of Ukraine's impact on the 2016 election has yet to be examined. And look at this, folks. We have an actual court decision out of Ukraine. Ukraine court rules Manafort disclosure caused meddling in the U.S. American election. An actual court finding. That's why the President of the United States wanted to get to the bottom of 2016 and find out what happened. Because The Congress didn't want to look, whether it's the Senate or the House Intelligence Committees. The FBI didn't want to look. The CIA didn't want to look. But the President of the United States wants to know what the hell happened in 2016. And we, the people of the United States, have every damn right to know, too. I'll be right back.